honored Black History Month in February by taking a look at an African-American family fighting for their history, a conflict over their enslaved ancestors' farmland, land that they once worked on and later worked to own.
Yeah, and a railroad is now trying to obtain ownership through eminent domain, and the battle could go all the way to the Supreme Court. ABC senior national correspondent Steve Osinsami has their story.
History will tell you that the railroad helped put America on the right track. They were yesterday's highways, and it's why it made sense to give railroads, which in most cases are still privately owned, some of the same powers to claim someone else's land as a power company, an airport, or even a public school system.
You'll never sell?
No.
No matter, no price?
No.
I don't want that through here. I don't want that here. If I sell it, there's going to be a train there.
Forever.
72-year-old Blaine Smith and his extended family are fighting centuries of history and U.S. law that still say a privately owned railroad can knock on their door in Middle Georgia and tell them that they need to sell a 3/4-mile strip of their land that's been in their lives since slavery.
It's going to go up on the other side of the ponds.
And not to build a park or a train station that they too might use, but for a business interest that the railroad says will help everyone. A new 4-mile rail line that would service a rock quarry and a handful of other businesses that are now using trucks to move their materials.
We've been labeled poor and black for so long, and how are we going to fight back?
Is what's happening here racism?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes, it's racism.
This is my father and my family.
Their family story is the very definition of black history in America. The great-grandmother who was born here a slave, the children she had with this man, a white farmer who was able to keep his family safe, their daughter Helen, who bought the 600 acres with her husband, and her oldest son who had words for his 6 children on his dying bed.
He said, keep it whole.
Keep it whole. Keep it in the family.
But about 2 years ago, they started getting letters from this man.
I just think that, rural Georgia needs opportunity.
Benjamin Tarbutton III is also a son of rural Georgia and the 3rd-generation president of the Sandersville Railroad. He says the new rail line could lead to at least a dozen permanent jobs.
There is this argument, of course, that, they didn't ask for this.
I understand that. Right. I mean, it's a tough deal. The infrastructure of this country. I mean, if eminent domain did not exist, we would not have everything that's a part of modern-day Georgia, modern-day America.
The power of eminent domain to take private land usually belongs to government and help build Central Park in New York and Hoover Dam near Las Vegas. And in 2005, the U.S. Supreme Court decided that helping an economy is a good enough reason to use it, a law the Georgia families are trying to change. In state court a few weeks ago, the judge pointed to the law, and the families lost.
I'm very sympathetic to the landowners, and if I ruled from what I thought was morally right, I would absolutely rule in your favor.
People are accusing you and your businesses that if these families were white, that perhaps there would be a different treatment, you might have gone to a different way.
Well, I think that's a gross mischaracterization, and we didn't know who the property owners were at that time, much less what they looked like.
The Smiths are now hoping a court will let them honor their father's dying wish to keep the land whole.
So, morally, remember what the judge was saying? Morally, I think we're winning.
But are you winning legally? Laws don't have to be moral.
Mm-hmm. At my age, I'm ready to fight. Bring it.
What a fascinating story. There are many thanks to Steve for that report.